So yesterday, I thought of the phrase, the worse your days are, the more productive your year will be. I was going to make a video about this until I realized two pretty crucial things. One, the phrase disregards a lot of unknown factors, meaning it's very general and probably won't apply to everyone. And two, the phrase is just wrong, I'm not going to lie. I'll show you why in a minute, but let me just give you some background information first. The reason I named this video the Just Start paradox is that in my eyes, the start of a journey is the most difficult part. It's in the beginning where you have the least experience and no results, yet you have to prove to yourself that you can do it, or you have to show yourself that you can do it. The beginning is where the big change happens, whether it changes your daily routine a lot or just a little. For example, one of the hardest goals for me to stick to in the summer was journaling. Even though it would only take 5 to 10 minutes per day, I still had so much trouble getting started. During the days where I did start, however, I continued to write past my 10-minute goal, and the rest was easy, right? Once I got started, it was super easy. Just start implies that it starts easy and gets harder later on. That's true in the sense that you aren't going to start with a handstand push-up in your first time trying calisthenics. You gradually build up with the frog stand, then the handstand push-up negatives, and finally handstand push-ups, right? From a purely physical or skillful standpoint, yeah, just start would apply because you begin with the easiest progression. However, for me, and maybe for you, there's something else that holds us back from starting a new skill or making a change, because then it wouldn't be the problem, right? The middle or the end of a journey would be where we had trouble continuing. I think the big thing that holds people back is change. Change makes the smallest action seem extremely difficult, like journaling was for me. I knew it wouldn't be very hard physically to write, but just making that first step was super difficult. Same goes with calisthenics. While I was on the path towards the handstand push-up, the first progression, the frog stand, was the most difficult to stick to. It was a change I wasn't used to, and therefore it took me a long time to practice enough to where I felt ready for the next progression, right? Closer to the end of the journey, when I was getting comfortable with handstands, training harder progressions was super easy and fun, because I had adopted to the change in the earlier progressions. The harder progression felt easier than the easier one that came earlier. Okay, remember the phrase? The reason I said it's too general was because you could have hard days, but still feel unproductive or stuck. It seems to me that a lot of people work very hard jobs, doing the same thing for many hours each day, but they wish they could do something else, with that time and that energy they spend on it. For some of my classmates and friends, school is pretty difficult, but I've heard many of them say how they hate school and can't wait to graduate. I'm not sure how many would say that their year is productive, but I can assume that at least a few would say that they could do more with their time. So could I, right? No one's perfect. However, I think some people do work really hard and feel super productive. In my case, whenever I have days or weeks that I complete all my schoolwork, get up early, record and edit these videos, work out, and do everything else I need to do, I feel amazing, right? I think the difference between people who work hard but look back at their year with regret and the people who look back at their year with pride is how invested they are towards what they're working on, right? I think that everyone has a purpose, and when people work towards a goal that aligns with their purpose, it's super fun, fulfilling, and addicting. During the summer, I often sacrificed an early bedtime for recording or editing videos on here or on Instagram because I just found it so fun. Not a good thing, but the other thing I said about the phrase was that it was wrong. I think that because these days, the ones that are so difficult, stressful, but productive towards goals that I really want to achieve are the ones I love the most. Days where I did absolutely nothing except for watch YouTube videos, skip all the good habits, eat junk food. Those were fun, easy days, right? But they were more tiring, they were super boring, and my sleep quality really suffered from them. They're considered fun, but were quite literally less fun than my more productive days. I think the reason most people disagree with that is that they have nothing to compare it to, right? When I was younger, I thought that everyone who exercised was lame and boring. I couldn't understand how or why people would purposefully do that. I was the guy who a few years ago talked shit about people who were trying to improve while I sat on the couch and ate my sour candies. The reason I thought that what I was doing was more fun was because I never tried what they were doing. I was basing their actions on, how I thought they would be for me, not questioning why they were doing it and how they felt. I didn't understand what their motivation was until I started doing the same thing, right? The beginning was super hard, but also so fun, especially because I was making progress, every week, right? Wow, I miss making progress like that. Okay, back then I had an easier day than the people who went to the gym because I wasn't going, but I think my days actually felt much worse. Feeling proud and productive is an amazing feeling to have, and I think that this emotion feels better to me than any YouTube video or junk food ever will. So I'm going to change that phrase. A better one, and dare I say, more complete, is that the more productive your days are towards your big goals, the better and happier your years will feel. Hopefully this video helped you in some way. If you want some cool clothing, obviously 100% cotton, check out workoutproduct.com. I only make like $1 or $2 off each shirt, but I think the designs look super cool, and my parents said they like them, which means you would like them as well. So, thanks for watching.